presentation. Lori McAdams will be covering incentive requests in the first part, and Nicole Beaulieu is fielding questions from participants. Okay, if you haven't used GoToWebinar before, we have everyone muted except for presenters. If you would like to ask us a question, please type it in the questions portion of your GoToWebinar pop-up. This can be done at any time during the presentation, and Nicole will read them out loud during designated breaks. We'll be recording this presentation and posting it to our website for you to reference at any time or to share with coworkers who may not have been able to attend today. The California Advanced Homes Program, also known as CAHP, is a PG&E-sponsored ratepayer-funded program. TRC Energy Services implements CAHP on behalf of PG&E. CAHP is a single-family new construction program that offers incentives to builders for building more efficient and energy-conscious homes. TRC also implements a multifamily program with the same goals known as the California Multifamily New Homes Program, also known as CMFNH. The programs are developed to help participants prepare for code changes and to strive for zero net energy. They are funded under the auspices of the California Public Utilities Commission. A little shout out for another upcoming webinar presented by TRC. On July 22nd, you can learn how your peers are using PG&E's energy efficiency cash incentives and technical support to design, build, and rehabilitate their multifamily properties to increase property value, net operating income, and resident satisfaction. Register for this live presentation on the www.cmfnh.com website under the Training and Events tab. Just a quick recap of our agenda today. We'll be starting off with the incentive request forms with Lori, and then rollover and adjustments with myself right after. There will be breaks in between each topic where Nicole will read off any of the questions you may have sent us so that we can address them in our appropriate segment. And without further ado, I'm going to pass off the reins to Lori.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm going to show you the process for submitting your incentive request forms. There are 3 forms that you're going to want to make sure you have on hand: the lot report, the plan check verification summary sheet, and the incentive request form itself. These forms were sent to you in your acceptance package, but if you need us to resend them, just let one of us know and we'll be happy to. This is the lot report. Michelle, has this slide turned over? It's not showing on my end. There we go. This is a lot report. You can use it to identify all of the lot numbers and addresses that you've enrolled in the program. We send you this report as an Excel file so that you'll be able to keep track of the lots you've submitted. And also, you'll want to keep track of the lots that have been paid as you receive your checks from PG&E. The next form is the plan check verification summary sheet. This form shows you which bonus pickers you're eligible for, so you'll know which boxes to mark on the incentive request. It also shows you the plan types that have been approved for your project. You want to use the plan names exactly as they're written here. So for instance, if you have a plan 1 and a plan 1 with options, for program purposes, those are 2 different plan types. So you'll need to identify which plan 1 you're using when you fill out your incentive request. It also shows you how much incentive you can expect for each plan and lot orientation. The next form is the incentive request form itself. This top portion is pre-filled by CAHP staff and with all of your project information. There's not a generic incentive request form, but instead a form for each project with this information already filled in. So you'll want to make sure you're using the correct form for the project you're submitting the lots for. To fill out the form, you'll want to enter the lot number, the address, the plan type, and the lot orientation. That's the direction that the front door faces. Then you'll want to mark the box that you've confirmed the HERS verification forms have been uploaded to the registry, and mark the boxes for any bonus kickers that each lot is eligible for. If your project has solar as an option and you're eligible for the KW reduction bonus, it's important that you mark the box for the lots that had solar installed. If you leave it blank, you're basically telling us that solar was not installed on that lot. You'll also see on the form that all lots must be tested after a specific date. Only lots tested after this date are eligible for incentives. But if you do find that you have a lot that was tested early, just let us know so that we can update our records and close out that lot. So once you've finished adding the lots, you'll need to sign and date the form and submit it. I want to point out that the HERS raters are not authorized to sign the forms on the participant's behalf. So we can only accept the form signed by the program participant, but you can sign electronically. However, it must be signed or we won't be able to accept it. If your project is enrolled in a program cycle that has the Green Home bonus kicker, you must submit the Green Point rated certificates along with the incentive request form. If we receive the incentive request form without the Green Point rated certificates, we won't be able to process the incentives, and the incentive request will be rejected. The same applies if your project is enrolled in Energy Star. The Energy Star certificates must be included with the incentive request form unless Energy Star can be verified in the HERS registry. If you're unsure if you need to submit the eStar certificates, you can check with your HERS rater, and they should be able to tell you whether or not eStar can be verified in the registry. And if your project is eligible for the KW reduction bonus, all lots that had solar installed will need to have the CF4R PV submitted with the incentive request form or available in the HERS registry in order for us to process the incentives. It's important that you verify with your HERS rater that the CF4R PV is complete prior to submitting your lots, because if it's not available, we won't be able to process the incentive request. After you've submitted your incentive request form, you'll receive an email from TRC that acknowledges that we received the form. This email is not automatically generated, and we process the forms in the order that they're received, so please be patient. If we run across any discrepancies, you'll be notified. Any lots that aren't ready for payment will be excluded. Excluded lots are still eligible. It just means that you'll need to resubmit them at a later time. Any lots that are not eligible for incentives will be rejected. Once a lot has been rejected, there's no need to resubmit it. If any of your lots were excluded or rejected, you'll receive an email, and it will clearly state the reason and whether or not you should resubmit it. It's really important that you respond to any communication you receive regarding the processing of your incentives, because if we just have a question and we don't hear back from you, we won't be able to process the lots. Once the lots have been processed, they'll be sent to PG&E for final payment approval, and you'll receive a check via certified mail directly from PG&E. You'll also receive notification from TRC that your lots have been paid. Probably the most frequently asked question is, when will I receive my check? We submit the lots in batches to PG&E twice a month. Once they're in PG&E's hands, it typically takes another 60 to 90 days for them to provide final payment approval and make its way through the accounting department where the check is issued. Although most of the processing goes smoothly, there are some other variables that can cause delays, such as changes or corrections that need to be made in the HERS registry, discrepancies between information on the incentive request form and the information that's in the registry, or simply the timing of your submittal, meaning how many lots came in before yours. If it's been more than 4 months since you've submitted your lots and you haven't received payment, feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to research the status. That pretty much covers the incentive request process, but are there any questions at this time?
Yeah, we have one question. Someone asked, are there any main differences between the multifamily CAHP and single-family CAHP, and do they require the same documents?
They're totally different programs, so they do have different documents. Michelle, do you have anything to elaborate on that?
Well, this particular presentation only applies to the single-family CAHP, but if you do have any questions about any of the multifamily CMF&H processes, you can definitely contact the main person over there, Shannon Todd. Her contact info is on the www.cmfnh.com website. And you might even be able to find out some more information on the program itself there if that's the kind of question that you're asking.
Are there any other questions?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, I'm going to hand this back to Michelle, and she will go over the rollover process.
Great, thanks, Lori. All right, so I am going to talk about rollover applications first. Okay, so CAHP cycles generally run in parallel with the energy code. So when a new code comes out, there are new program guidelines, incentives, and of course, everyone's favorite, paperwork. The code hadn't changed for a few years, so we were able to get 2 program cycles out of the 2008 code. When the 2013 code did go into effect on July 1st, 2014, some of the projects already enrolled found out that a few of their lots were going to be permitted to 2013 code due to permitting issue dates within the building department. TRC wanted to make it a little easier for those projects with lots in both codes to roll over into the new program cycle. Here's a little visual for you on when a 2008 code project needs to roll over some of its lots to the 2013 code program. This is just a fictional site plan with some lots that are going to be built to 2008 code. Come to find out, oh, all these other ones are actually going to be 2013 code. This is a perfect example of when a rollover application would be needed. The rollover application is only available by request. It is not available on our website. We just ask that you shoot us an email if you want to go this route. TRC staff will pre-fill as much of the information in for you and send you a short checklist of items that need to be returned to us in order to get your rollover going. Those required items are a complete and signed rollover application. We will pre-fill in most of the information for you. There might just be a few spots that you might need to fill out. The app must be signed by the payee, so the homeowner or the builder, and a lot list of lots that need to roll over. TRC will include a lot report that we have on file when we send out the rollover application and checklist. Please use this list to indicate which lots will be built to the 2013 code and need to be rolled over. This is pulled from our database, so this is what we have on file for any of your projects. We will also require new Title 24 documents from your energy consultant that include the CAHP Incentive Report, or CIR. The project should be shared with TRC on the 2013 Code Registry in CalCerts. CalCerts is the only registry that currently has a 2013 code. Cheers does not yet have one. You may have to submit new plans and spec sheets if things were changed to comply with the code change. There will be flexibility with the lot list as well. If some of the lots move over, end up being built to the 2008 code, we'll go ahead and pay out under your previous project. So if you're not sure, there might be a few lots that may or may not be rolling over, that's okay. Just let us know, and Lori and myself are keeping track of those types of things. Are there any questions about rollover applications?
No new questions.
Okay, well, if anybody has any towards the end, go ahead and type those in the questions box, or if you think of one later, let us know. Same goes for any incentive request form questions you might have.
Oh, we just got one question.
Okay.
It's, what if we submit rollover lots that can't generate CIRs?
If you submit rollover lots that cannot generate CIRs, get in contact with us. You might have to talk to our plan review manager, Kevin. It could be that you need to update your software that you're using, either CBEC Res or Energy Pro. As far as I know, the most recent versions of both of these programs allow you to generate a CIR report. Any other questions?
No, that's all.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move into adjustment applications. When you have a project that's already enrolled and you need to make a change. So I guess the most important question is, when do I make an adjustment? And what is an adjustment application? So an adjustment application allows the project to make changes after it's already passed the CAHP plan review. This can be any number of changes, such as dropping incentive bonuses, changing the number of lots due to adding or removing phases, offering new plan types that weren't included in the original application, or changing existing plans after a project has been officially enrolled in the program. Any changes that impact the energy use or plan types should be sent to us for approval before any of these changes start being made at the construction level. This could lead to lots or entire projects being rejected and or dropped. So what is an added plan? One thing that can be confusing is an added plan versus an adjusted plan. How do you know which one you are dealing with? An added plan is a completely new plan or product being offered at the community. For example, plans 1 through 3 have already been approved and enrolled in our program. And then the builder decides, oh, let's offer a new plan type, a plan 4. So it can also be a new plan option that alters the conditioned floor space. For example, you have a plan 1, and then you decide to add some bay windows to that plan 1. So you might need to offer a plan 1 with bay option. So you still have the plan 1, but you want to add the plan 1 with the option. Significant changes to the energy measures of an existing plan would also make a new plan, because it would require us to treat it in its original as 2 separate plans, especially if both ended up being built. Just like a new application package, any added plans have to be submitted to us via an adjustment application before drywall goes up. Otherwise, homes built with these plans risk being rejected. So an adjusted plan differs from an added plan because it usually happens due to a mid-construction change. This could be something like a failed HERS test. It could also be that it affects only one lot and not the entire plan set. So maybe just one lot decided to remove their QII testing. I see that all the time. These kinds of changes do not have to be submitted prior to drywall, but they should get to us before you try and submit for your incentive request. You can see our checklist for more details and examples of added versus adjusted plans, and that's available on our website or by request. Required items for an adjustment are the most important: a complete and signed adjustment application. The application must be signed by the payee, so that means the homeowner or the builder. For clarification purposes, be sure to check no on the changes you are not making rather than leaving it blank. if you go to the website and you pull up the application, we have different sections, and it asks if you're changing anything, like adding plans, dropping kickers, adjusting plans, and it'll say yes or no. You have to check yes or no just so we're clear on what it is you're doing, because we allow you to make multiple adjustments using one application. For plan adjustments, you also enter the adjustment specifics in the details box of the application to let us know exactly what changed from the original plan, such as remove QII test. We may need new Title 24 documents from your energy consultant that include the input file, the CF1R signed by a certified CEPE or CEA, and the appropriate ACR, Util 1R, or CIR. New plans and new spec sheets will also be needed for brand new and revised plans. We currently have adjustment applications and checklists available on our www.CAHP-PGE.com website. Click on any tab besides Home, and they are on the right-hand side drop-down menu. The adjustment app also includes the checklist, so when you go ahead and download that PDF, you get the checklist first and the applications on page 2. Do we have any questions about adjustment applications or any other questions about rollovers and incentive request forms?
There aren't any new questions in the question box yet.
Okay. Maybe we were very thorough, hopefully.
Okay, I see one. Is the incentive request form on the website?
Well,
No, it's not, because the incentive request form is specific to each project, meaning the upper information is filled out for you. That incentive request form is sent to you in your acceptance package, but if you can't find that, just let us know and we'll send it to you for the project you're referring to.
Great. Do we have any other last-minute questions? If anyone thinks of anything too after the presentation, like if you're actually filling out an adjustment and you're not sure what to do, you can contact us at any time and we can help you with that process. Same goes for incentive request forms. If you're trying to fill one out and you're not sure if you have everything that you need, you can contact Lori is your best contact for those, but if she's unavailable, you can definitely contact myself. All right, well, here is our CAHP team's contact info. We can all be reached via the general email address, cap@trcsolutions.com, or the phone number listed, 866-352-7457. You can find the documents and checklists mentioned in this presentation on our website, www.CAHP-PGE.com, with the exception of the rollover application and your incentive request forms. Those are project specific, and they are sent out in your acceptance package via email and regular mail to the builders and payees. If you need any of those forms, just contact myself or Lori, and we can get those to you. We appreciate you joining us for your lunch break and hope you have a wonderful afternoon, everyone. Thank you.